Today we're going to be trying 4 separate releases from Dark Arts Whiskey House. Let's get into it. Hello everyone, welcome back to Brad's Bourbon Reviews. I'm Brad, and today we're going to be talking about a little brand that has a lot of hype behind it right now. Dark Arts is a brand that I keep hearing people mention and bring up and talk about, and we're going to fresh crack 4 of them. These were not sent to me by them or anything. That's not why I'm doing the video this way. I just think it's cool to do sometimes more than one whiskey or bourbon in a video, just to A/B compare, especially when it comes to a brand like Dark Arts that has a lot of hype behind it, so I can kind of give you my definitive, which is the best of these releases. So, of the releases, we have a 7-year straight rye whiskey finished with toasted Amburana oak staves, a 7-year straight bourbon whiskey. This is what we refer to as a barely legal bourbon, meaning it's only 51% corn. Next, we have a 10-year straight bourbon whiskey. This is a single barrel pick. Then we have a straight bourbon whiskey finished with toasted Jubilee Fleur French oak staves. I don't know what the hell that means. I don't speak French, so don't know what to tell you. But we're going to go through these now one by one and see what's the best one. All right, since we have so many of these to get into today, I think it might be best to go in proof order. All right, so we're going to start out with the 10-year straight bourbon whiskey. And by the way, I say gift, and I don't mean like these were just gifted to me from him, but these were a gift for me to review for my buddy Chris, who's a good friend of mine and a patron. So shout out to Chris. He's the one that was like, you need to review some Dark Art stuff. And I've been wanting to try it anyway. I know I don't need to say this, you saw it in the B-roll, but these bottles are gorgeous. Once again, this is the 10-year straight bourbon whiskey coming in at 107.6 proof. I cannot wait to try this. And I do believe that they are a blender. I don't believe they produce their own distillate from what I'm aware of. I am right. Distilled in Indiana, so they are a sourcer and blender. Oh, man. Maple and cherry. This is just a straight bourbon whiskey? Single barrel select. All right. 60% corn, 36% rye, 4% malted barley. Is the mash bill on this? Oh, that's like a dark cherry, like dark fruit note even. Almost into like a stone fruit. Oak and caramel. This is a beautiful nose. It is a little proofy. There's a little proofiness on this. And it's only 107.6 proof. And that is cask strength for this, by the way. This is a cask strength bourbon. This smells fantastic. Chris, you might not be getting this one back. This is fantastic. I'm getting that like brownie note that I get in some cask strength bourbons sometimes. Dude, that is fantastic. That is really solid. I really like that a lot. The palate is a sweet oakiness with a little bit of cherry and vanilla on there and some baking spice. Man, that is really solid. That's great. But before we get any further into the video, we need to thank today's sponsor, Smoke and Serve. Smoke and Serve reached out to me a few weeks ago and sent me this, and it arrived just a few days ago, and I have just been in love with this thing since I got it. Look, there's cocktail smokers, and then there's Smoke and Serve. The set that you get with this is absolutely incredible. You get a Smoke and Serve tray, 4 hand-blown cocktail glasses, a rechargeable smoking gun, sample bag of applewood chips, and 4 cork stoppers. This thing is so much fun to break out at parties and make cocktails with. I love making old fashions, and this just elevates them to a different level. The design on this is incredible. Being able to smoke and carry the drinks that you've made on one serving tray is just genius. I love this thing so much. If you are interested in one of these yourself, which you should be, there will be a link in the description, or you can scan the QR code on screen. And thank you again to Smoke and Serve for sponsoring this video. All right, let's move on to the next one here. This is a 7-year straight rye. This is one finished with toasted Jubilee Fleur.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
If you've watched the videos for some time, you know I'm not the biggest rye whiskey fan, but there are obvious exceptions to that. There are some rye whiskeys that I really, really like. One of the first ones that come to mind, like a Thomas H. Handy. Obviously, I love the Sazerac stuff, but I also really like the A. Overholt. So I've had a few stuff from A. Overholt, but the A. Overholt itself is just fantastic. So let's see if these fancy schmancy woods that they finished with, I think it was staves? Yeah, this is a stave finish 7-year rye whiskey. Coming in at 108 proof. This is batch 11. Let's give it a nosing. Let's see how we feel. It smells weird. It smells like almost like a minty licorice note. Palate is not anything like the nose. It's like a black licorice mint note. The palate is like super sweet, way sweeter than I was anticipating it being. Like very rich vanilla. This tastes like the Airwick vanilla room spray smells. It tastes how that smells. That is like vanilla frosting sweet. Holy shit, that is really good. That is probably the most unique rye I've ever had. That does not taste like anything you would think a rye whiskey tastes like. That is insane. I think I like that better than the bourbon. All right, moving on to the next one. This is another straight rye whiskey. This is finished with toasted Amburana oak staves. So this is the first, at least first to my memory, anything I've had with Amburana. I know the Rio was like up everyone's alley for such a long time, and I never got my hands on one, never tried it, never had anything finished in Amburana. It's very divisive from what I understand. Based on what people say about it, I'm not so sure I'm going to dig it. Let's see. I ran out of Glens. I had to use a wee Glen, the Bourbon Distillery. So it's going to look really ridiculous in my hands here in a second. See how tiny it is? I can barely get my nose in it. This smells like the last one. This one's sweeter on the nose. So this one smells like this one tastes. Interesting. Yeah, that is, okay. That is weird. Chris, when you get these, try these two together and tell me this one does not smell exactly like this one tastes. It smells really, really sweet. It smells like, almost reminds me of like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I wish I wasn't drinking it out of this small-ass glass, but I'm out of Glens. I don't know if I'm doing a fair service with this, but we're just going to stick with it. Give it a mouthing. Oh, yeah, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of that. That literally tastes like the milk after Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Mixed with rye. Yeah, I'm not like that. I'm good. I don't even want to finish that pour. Not a fan of that one at all. That is by far and away my least favorite of the four. So, unless, I still need to try like Rio, which I think is like a pretty good version of an Amburana finish from what I understand. I don't think I like Amburana finishing. Last one we're going to try here is a 7-year straight bourbon whiskey. This is the Barely Legal Bourbon, cask strength, 113.15 proof. They got real specific. All right, let's give this one a nosing. Let's see how we feel. Traditional bourbon notes, a little hint of cherry, a little hint of caramel, a little nuttiness to this too. It smells really nice. It smells good. It smells a lot like the first one I had. This is batch number 12. Yeah, the first one and this one smell oddly alike, even though the first one's 10-year-old. You can tell a color difference just looking at them side by side. And there's nothing wrong with this by any stretch. This is a really solid nose. There's a graham cracker note that I'm really liking on it as well. Let's give it a mouthing. Let's see how we feel. This is fantastic. It's warm, burnt sugars on the palate. Dare I say brown sugar and cherry. A little bit of vanilla and some oakiness that I really like. It's very, very, very well balanced. That's fantastic. So I'm going to rank these from my most favorite to my least favorite. So I'm going to say, by far, I do not like the Amburana finish whiskey. That's my least favorite. Then I'm going to have to go 7-year bourbon, 10-year bourbon. And I am shocked and appalled at how much I liked this bourbon. Oh, this is bourbon too. I thought it was a rye. Okay, that makes more sense why there's not much rye-ness to it. By far and away my favorite one. Chris, if you ever want to get rid of this one, let me know because I really, really like this. But that is the video. Comment down below. Let me know if you knew about Dark Arts. Dark Arts is, they've got a little bit of a reputation going and it's completely justified. I think these are all good. Even though I ranked this one like pretty low, I just don't love rye. And to me, that's not the rye profile that I typically do like when I do like rye whiskey. So that is not a knock on them. That is just my own personal preference. These bourbons are excellent. They are excellent. I wouldn't give any of these less than a 7.9. And I would probably give this bourbon that I really, really like an 8.4. I think it is fantastic. So thank you to Chris for letting me get those and try those, get my hands on those and try those. I appreciate it very, very much. Dark Arts, well done. You did a great job. You make some excellent stuff. That is the video. Thank you guys for watching. Comment down below. Let me know if you knew about Dark Arts. Let me know if they're on your radar. I'll tell you this, they should be. You should get your hands on something from Dark Arts. See if you like it. Maybe go to see if they have a store pick laying around that you can try. I think it's good. I think you'll dig it if you like good bourbon. I think you'll like Dark Arts. That's the video. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Until then, cheers. A big thank you to all the Patreon supporters you see on screen right now.